So really forcing those teams to kind of find a channel where they can come together. Pod teams and visiting them were great. I jumped into the pit, as they call it, on the sales side, spending a lot of time with sales, understanding who are the top closers, who are not, why are some of their challenges, what is the script they use. Shadow sessions is really exciting and important. It's a great technique where you're watching, right? And you're watching other people, in this case, a product manager watching a sales representative do the magic they do, right? And how are they closing the deal? What words are they using? What examples are they using? Which parts of the product are they showing? Which competitors are they running into? So really kind of thinking through how you integrate squads and pod teams and have that different level of working. Last thing I'll leave you here with is artifacts. I found that it's very valuable, just like product managers are creating, the stuff that they need to do to build technology. It's equally important to create those artifacts that says, here's the one pager. Here's the one pager of what we're going to launch. And it's not about the dirty details, right? Think about when you download a new version of the app on the App Store or your Google Play Store, it'll say the release notes in a high level. Like, this is the value you're going to get after you download this new version. And those are the types of one pagers and artifacts that I found that really help enhance that relationship with the sales team and bring those teams together to kind of rock and do the stuff that we can do. I'll open it up for Q&A because I know we're up on time. But, the last thing I'd say here is whether it's a big company or a growth company, it's B2B, B2C, B2B2C. It doesn't really matter. It feels like historically the sales and marketing team and the product team have been siloed a bit, right? And breaking down those silos is our job, because in the end of the day, it is one team and we're really selling and building amazing products for our end customers. So it's important that these two teams, as they engage with these end customers, they're also engaging with each other and really finding what is that foundational layer and what is that right way of working and culture that's going to enhance both of their jobs, right? I'll leave with, please spend time with your sales team if you haven't. Please spend time with your product team if you haven't, and really try to dissect what the value is and how we can kind of use that and leverage it for your own roles. All right, opening it up for questions, Massimo.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was really insightful and a hot topic that from different angles we've touched multiple times today. Seems like breaking down the silos between product marketing and sales, it's really the focus of most companies I'm talking with in this period. It's a huge pain point. And we were just chatting a few sessions ago with Alex Grant from Personio on the importance of the feedback, of the product feedback that comes from sales, because customer success and customer support usually is very incremental feedback. They can help you make your product a bit better, but usually existing customers just complain or ask about the pain point they have right now using the product. While product feedback from sales is amazing just because people have not seen the product. They have blank sheet and they really tell you what they would love your product to be. Question, have you ever tried aligning rewards and goals between product and sales as a way to speed up this?
Yeah, and that's where I was alluding to. And you bring up a good point. I think product feedback that comes from the sales team or the sales channel is really interesting because there's no bias there, right? It's not like you have use the product. In a lot of these cases, it's usually new customers or upsell customers. So it's interesting feedback. And you're right, as product managers, we need to spend time to get that feedback. And as sales representatives, we need to spend time to give that feedback. So valid point there. As far as integrating goals and rewards, yes, I think the future, Massimo, is actually, sales are usually driven on numbers, right? Generating revenue, and product rewards and benefits are usually driven on features and enhancements, right? So I think bringing a world of those two together is difficult, but it's really exciting. If we can crack that nut, it becomes really rewarding because then in the end of the day, you're serving the customer and the company. A lot of times those actually have a conflict, right? Because product, you might be trying to build value for the customer, but sales, you might be trying to also win business for the company and vice versa. So there could be conflict there as well. And I think I have tried this, and it's important to really think through that we are one team. So when you ask a product manager to start thinking about revenue for the company, and you ask a sales agent to start thinking about value for the customer, the script balances a bit, right, Massimo? So I think it's important to really kind of bring those two together. And it's hard, but how do you create a uniform set of goals and rewards where you can find that balance? So some of the things that have worked for me is if we sell more mobile, right, we will get this much more benefit for the employee base, right? So it's trying to set revenue numbers, not just on the company level or the entire product level, but trying to set them on feature levels, right? Or groups of portfolios of features. That becomes interesting too. And then last final thought I'd say is looking at different type of clients, right? When in the sales cycle, you might have B2B clients, enterprise clients, big, small. That plays an interesting role too, because depending on your client, there might be more involvement in product. I remember when I was at Goldman, as much as I loved the sales team, I always wanted to talk to the product manager at Cisco or Microsoft because I was a product manager and I wanted to see what is the future there. Now, when I worked at LearnVest, I didn't care as much. So being in different environments, you actually kind of get influenced about how your approach is. And we need to kind of come up with a uniform way to do that.
I think also getting like a product manager in the sales conversation helps a lot, especially when sharing the roadmap. I feel potential customer tends not to trust product promises from salespeople.
Yes.
While if there is an actual PM explaining the roadmap and making formal commitment, that's way more effective for closing deals.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I would urge every sales team to spend more time, learning your team's product roadmap, but B, also bringing in the product team and having them have a place in your sales pitch and deck, right? Because, I think both roles are equally important for the client, but for different reasons, as you pinpointed.
Awesome. Vivek, thank you so much for joining us. It was really interesting session. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.